And hopefully I will not hear myself as an echo. Let's do it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the interview, the after concert interview. My name is Barak Weiss. And here with us, we have O.N.E Quintet, direct from Yasmin Club Yasmin in Varsha. Guys, say hi to the audience.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, hello.
Okay, let's start. First of all, congratulations on the concert. It was really, really good. I think the reactions was very, very positive. So thank you so much for sharing us the music, even though it was, in live streaming and not here with us. I'll start by asking basically a regular question that everybody I think asks you. How did you guys meet, and when did you decide to form a band?
Okay, and so we start our adventure with O.N.E Quintet about 5 years ago. It was only one concert for International Women's Day, and it was kind of experiment. We started at Krakow, and we thought that maybe it's a good idea to try something like this, only woman band on Women's Day. And I'm not sure it's okay with video, I think. Okay, now I see you. Okay, and this concert was really cool, and we think that it's a good idea to do the next, and that's O.N.E Quintet.
Who is the band leader among you?
I'm afraid we don't have a band leader, but we work together and we are equal, and I think it's a huge advantage for our music, and yeah, we don't have a leader as for.
So how's the decision making takes place? What songs to play? What's the order of the set list? What's the marketing? Program for next year, etc.
We have a manager,
Yeah,
great manager. So now it works pretty fine. But later it was quite messy sometimes. But after all, we just, I don't know, we were making everything work. And
yeah, I would love to say also that it's a kind of beautiful and sometimes hard process. So it's all like music, yeah. It's sometimes really needs a moment to make something good, and it's also like making decisions with a team. So sometimes it could be hard, but I think it's really, for us, it's a proper way to do this actually. So yeah, I hope it won't change.
So I can say about something about pieces of music, what we play. It's like, if someone of us has something to play, it's like natural on the rehearsal that take this piece and we're gonna play that. And I think we are a democracy band, so how it works. And I think it works very fine.
There are a lot of researchers that say that decision making is different between genders, and some of these researchers say that Women in general, of course, it's always a generalization, tend to make such democratic decisions more than men. Do you think, what do you think about this?
Um, yeah, we are really emotional. Yep, that's true. I think that's what are you asking for. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really loud when we are discuss about things.
But we support each other.
Yep.
Like it's, I think it's natural for women to support each other, to make everyone feel okay, and I think it helps while working together. But
but I think that it's important to say that finally, when we're talking about sound, in my opinion, there is no difference between genders. So maybe when we talk about emotional and stuff like that, yeah. But when we talk about music, for me, there is no difference.
What other differences?
You don't agree? What does it mean?
What other differences you see between this band and the other bands that you all play in?
I can say that, the difference is that you play with different people. So always these bands, generate a difference, if you know what I mean. It's not like woman, man. It's about different people and different emotion and different connection and something like that, I think. So we play in another band, but it's every story is another story. So
I think it's something totally different when you play, for example, some, I don't know, some pop stuff, for example, as a sideman, yeah, and totally different situation when you play, for example, in a string quartet or in an orchestra, etc., etc. So actually, I think it depends on person. I mean, it really depends on what you like. Yeah. So for me, for example, when I am a frontman or a sideman or someone else, that's all interesting. But maybe for someone else, that would be like more natural to be to just be a leader or something. Yeah. So I think it's something that has a lot to do with a personality. But I think it's my opinion. Yeah. So I cannot
we
talk
agree.
for everyone else.
I think we have a strong bond between each other, and we have extraordinary understanding. I think when you play in a band with men, it's a bit different. Speaking of understanding each other, because we are in a way equal, and that does a lot for us to better communication, and I think the understanding and the bond between us is strong, and it's extraordinary.
Thank you. You can of course hear like some folk music in your music, in the band's music. And my question is why? I mean, when I was a younger man, I didn't want to listen to folk music. This was for old people. I wanted to listen to other like modern styles, etc. So how come you guys are incorporating that into your music?
Well, I think it derives from folk music. Everything, all modern music derives from folk and from classical music, from traditional jazz. It only depends on the region or country. So I think it's a route for us. So we find there huge amount of inspiration, and yeah, I think it's just important for us to play folk music because of that.
And maybe also we have violin in our band, so violin is typical, folk instrument, and Dominika plays a lot of folk music, and she brings us a folk pieces.
When you are looking for something similar between Polish folk and jazz, then you will find a lot of stuff like really interesting rhythmic things. So for example, you can mix a few totally different rhythms at the same time. So it's some kind of something really typical for jazz, and you have also like a lot of improvisation, because that was kind of tradition, that the people were learning without notes, so they have to hear something as first and then to play, and I think that's a really natural approach to jazz, not only like many years ago, but today also.
Right. Is it possible in these days, is it possible to make a living out of being a jazz musician in Poland?
We're still alive. Yeah.
I think jazz community in Poland and in world and in Europe is spreading, I think. So yeah, it is possible to, I don't know if I understand you, if it's possible to live from jazz in Poland, you are
Yeah.
asking? Yes, so absolutely, I think yes, but if you don't want to just close in jazz music, you can also do another stuff, like a lot of,
Yeah, sometimes you just have to be flexible, and sometimes you have to be a bit lucky, and find people who support you. But usually, I think it is possible, absolutely. And yeah, when you connect those things, like a bit of luck, like hard work, of course, and flexibility, then I think it's possible.
And I think that in Poland we've got great education, jazz education. We've got, I think, 15 jazz academies. So this is, I think, it helps to be a good jazz musician in Poland. Maybe it's not the easiest way, but yeah, it's possible to be jazz musician.
You have to be good, and it's possible.
As simple as that. And yesterday we had a lecture about the history of jazz in Poland by trumpet player Piotr Schmidt, and he was after the lecture he was we were talking about, like, not just me, like the people in the Zoom lecture. We're talking about the future of jazz, etc. And he said that there's a balance between being a jazz artist and to become a little bit commercial in order to make a living out of it. So my question is, in your experience, I mean, how do you find this balance?
We are trying to find a spot where we feel comfortable, and when it's good for audience. And I think it's all about finding a balance, and being okay and being fair with ourselves and with people who listen to us. So yeah, we are still looking for that spot. And we're just working on it constantly. So maybe in a few years I will answer your question. Like, but as for now, I think we are focusing on music, on doing the best, and yes, I think that's the answer.
I think sometimes jazz musicians are a little bit selfish and egocentric, and think that, oh, I am an artist, I don't need a Facebook and Instagram, and nowadays it's not possible to play a lot of concerts around the world when you're not you don't have things at social media. And I think now jazz musicians have to work on it to be more commercial, but it don't mean that music have to be more commercial, just maybe photos or some videos, but you have to have these things on social media.
You know, I think there's something really like interesting about jazz history, yeah. Because when you, for example, ask about Miles Davis, yeah, then you will always find some people who would say, "Oh yeah, he was too commercial, yeah," or something. But I think he was just doing what he wanted in that way. That's okay. He was feeling that way probably. So why not? Yeah. So I think that's always a really personal question. Yeah, if you don't pretend someone else, then I think that's okay. Yeah.
In Israel, we have some good music schools, not as many as you have in Poland, but still, I think the majority of the students in Israel wants and goes to the United States to study, either in Boston, in Berkeley, or in New York, in the New School, etc. And then many of them are staying in New York. They say that it's very important for them to play with other musicians and to study with the great maestros, etc. How's it like in Poland? Do you also try to leave Poland and play either in New York or Berlin or whatever and stay there to learn?
Yeah, of course. In Poland, we've got popular program Erasmus. I don't know. Did you heard about it? And if is it work in Israel? Erasmus, maybe only just in European. So yeah, we've got Erasmus, and I think that it's also important for our young jazz musicians. But maybe New York it's not as popular. Maybe just we're going only just in Europe.
You know, for example, if you want to go to USA from Poland, then you have to get visa. Yeah, so it's not super easy. And actually, quite a lot of American musicians used to come to Poland. Of course, not at the moment, but you know, actually, if you want to meet some great names from America, then it was like really many options to meet them in person, for example. Yeah.
In Poland.
Exactly.
Yeah, but none of us were in another place, just in Poland. We studied in Poland, yes. So yeah, we have roots in Poland, I think, and here we study, here we teach, and something like that.
I think we all have we have a tendency to travel to search for another place to get more inspiration, and but usually after all people come back to Poland and they just have I don't know, fresh mind and new people to play with, and they usually stay here for the rest of their life, and they create here the music. And yeah, but it's quite popular option for Polish students to learn abroad. So yeah, we have such tendency.
I've heard about tendency in Denmark, Denmark
Yeah.
and maybe Berlin is popular
Denmark, yeah.
places.
Copenhagen and Berlin are Switzerland also.
I don't know if you heard, but Montmartre just closed in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So it's a very important temple of jazz in the history.
Maybe someday we'll play there. Hopefully.
No, it just closed. That's it. No, nothing more. They just announced that they're closing it.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know.
What's the situation right now in Poland with the pandemic? How is it affecting your tour, your CD launch, your plans?
No, I think now it's pretty cool that we can,
As for now,
for us, yeah, because we can play concerts, some not with all audience on the concert hall, but it's possible to play and go for lunch and for pub.
And also, as we mentioned, that we have a new manager, Kate Werner, and she really helps us to play a lot, to find places where we can play right now. And for me, pandemic was really good time, I must say, because we had 3 months just to thinking, just to find who I am and something like that. And after that, we can play with the fresh minds. And now I think I know what I want to do, where I want to be.
I also think that if it wasn't for Kate Werner, we wouldn't be here on the stage in Yasmin Club. So yeah, we have huge support from her. So but it is difficult to organize more. And yeah, I'm afraid everyone in Europe or even like around the world struggles with pandemic situation.
Right. So what's in the future? What would you like? How do you see yourself in 2 or 3 years' time?
In Tel Aviv.
Polish Jazz Festival in Tel Aviv, yeah.
Would love to have
Not
you.
online.
Yeah, exactly. Not
Nice
online. I think
And
it's
a really nice T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh.
we love it.
Thank you so much. Guys, I won't keep you anymore. It was just a quick interview. Just to tell you once again, we really enjoyed your playing. I wish you were here with us, but maybe next year or the year after that, when things will settle down, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for you too.